coming off the huge success of Mortal Kombat, why Injustice as the follow-up?
Well, I think one of the things we don't want to do with Mortal Kombat is to, I guess, annualize it. You know, I think especially when you do something that hit really big, we really don't want to just kind of saturate the market with it. And our team in general has always wanted to kind of broaden our horizons a little bit, go into other IP, other types of games and whatnot. So this is kind of our first step into that.
Right. And when it comes to Nether Realms' kind of signature, I think a lot of people would have assumed that it was gore. So what, like when we play Injustice, what'll be the things where we're like, oh, this is Nether Realm all the way?
I think part of it is our presentation. You know, we're really one of the things this game we definitely don't want to be is just a Mortal Kombat game skinned with DC characters. We want it to be its own game. It plays different. The presentation's different. There is a certain kind of flair in our presentations that we have. We had the crazy X-ray moves in the last game, and I think we're going to replace the blatant violence with more over-the-top, Flash runs around the world, Superman punches people into outer space, kind of events like that. So I think it'll still have our signature on it, but it's not going to be like overtly violent,
Right. So how similar do you think this game will be to Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe?
I don't think it'll be similar at all. I think, Mortal Kombat versus DC needed to maintain some element of Mortal Kombat. So we stuck with, a block button. We had yeah, exactly. 3D walking fatalities, all of the kind of expected things from Mortal Kombat game. And we really want this game to be its own identity. So, you block differently, the attack buttons are differently, the whole round system is different, the feel is different, and there's not crazy violence. So that's a big part of the difference between these two games, and it just happens to be created by the same people who make Mortal Kombat.
I'm not sure if you're the right person to ask about this, but I really liked Mortal Kombat Legacy. The miniseries, the Mortal Kombat miniseries that you had a little bit of part in. Do you have any idea what's going on with that?
What's goes on with that miniseries?
Yeah, what's happening now?
I had heard talk about them making more episodes of it, but at the same time, I also heard, they're starting to work on another Mortal Kombat movie, and since it's the same guys, I don't think they can do both at the same time. So. I haven't heard recently. I haven't heard talk about the Legacy series continuing, but that could still be in the works. I don't know totally. Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I thought I'd dig for it. So how has the reaction to Injustice been here at EVO? I imagine people are pretty psyched to see it.
Yeah, it's we've had very positive feedback, and we're excited about that. One thing we're also looking here is for. I don't know if I call them suggestions, but almost like a wish list of things. One of the audiences that we're trying to target are these kind of hardcore fighting game players, the guys who really dissect every moment of the game, take it apart, features and whatnot. And we want to cater to that as well as the kind of the casual player and bring in as many more new fighting game players as possible. But for this venue, what we're looking for is the hardcore players' opinion, experience, and requests. So that's really what I'm trying to get out of this particular trip.
I'll ask you one last question, just because I'm curious. Your perspective on what it is that draws people to fighting games.
There's something about the mechanics of a fighting game, the simplicity of the mechanics. It's just one character against another character. It's very much like what I think draws people to competitive sports, basketball, football, whatnot. But it's so much, it's so broken down to me versus you. There aren't other players in it, and I think that real kind of fundamental basicness of it is really what. Eventually, when you strip away everything, that's the core of what's going on, and that's the core of why something like this, like EVO, as big as this, keeps getting bigger and bigger. A lot of people don't really see that, but it is really a sport when you think about it.
And it seems unique to fighting games, too. There are communities for other games, but nothing quite like Evo, nothing quite like what builds around these fighting games.
Exactly, and again, I think it's, you know, if fighting games had a different mechanic to it, I don't think we'd see something like this. So there's a certain basic, you know, play mechanic that will always be consistent throughout fighting games, and that is what kind of feeds all of this.